Welcome back to the Wasted Local Fantasy Football Podcast.
Extravaganza.
It
is I, the best in the world.
No drum roll this week?
No drum roll. I just feel like the fans need to know. It's Josiah's here, the best, and then...
You came really close to losing. Like, one touchdown would have done it.
Somewhere behind me is Daniel, who is the second best, so you're getting the elite of the elite this week.
Now, even though ESPN doesn't make me number 2, even though I'm tied for second, I've got way more points than who's actually in second. So
you will always be number 2 to me.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That means 2 things.
Is this like a scat thing? Like, are you going to poop on me here in a little bit? Because, I mean, I'm all for, whatever.
We'll see what's this podcast rated?
That's mature.
Okay.
But there's no video, so it's just sounds of us exchanging.
Speaking of number 2ing on people, let's roll right into it.
I barely took a number 2 on Jess this week. Wow, that sounded bad. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, Jed. Just kidding. Fuck you, Jed. Yet again. Hover on Genocide. Me, I defeated Team Hairless Jess, 105.4 to 99.9. And I thought I was going to lose because all of my benched wide receivers did better than all of my starting wide receivers. And I swapped out Calvin Ridley for Josh Gordon against the Giants, and Josh Gordon got injured.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
He got rogered.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but it didn't matter.
Miles Sanders did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have been good in your flex, which is probably the first time he's done well all year.
Yeah, I think he's maybe put up like 10 points one other time. But, yeah, Emmanuel Sanders on Jess's team went out, which helped me immensely.
Kyler Murray puts up points every week. He's a fantasy machine right now.
He does. And Curtis Samuel, that's all she had playing. She had him playing, obviously for the 9:30 game.
Yeah.
And put up 21 points in her flex spot, and I was like, this is it. I'm going to lose.
If she started Hunter Henry over Tyler Eifert, which I understand why she didn't. It's his first game back. But, my goodness, he would have lost. It would have been great.
Yeah.
I would have loved it.
But yeah, and then she was down 17 points and had Mason Crosby. And I was getting a little worried.
Oh, yeah.
That she might come back because he ended up getting 12 points. So
that was a game of kicking all-stars last night.
Yeah.
12 points for Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she lost. Sucks to suck.
Yep. So on to the next game. We have the defeat of all defeats. Brittany, the 1-4 team, knocking off Michael, the 4-2 team. Mindflayer Bonner defeated the chosen one, 133.9 to 106.4.
She put up the most points out of anybody this week.
Her team's looking pretty scary now.
Her team has the potential to do this every week where she just goes nuts. Carolina's defense, I think, is number 2 or 3, which putting up 15 or so points a week, that will do well for you.
I mean, they picked off Jameis Winston 5 times and then recovered a fumble. Jameis Winston's just a turnover machine in that game. Yeah. It was nuts.
Like Apple turnovers.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the story about Ben threw 6 interceptions and then...
Sounds like Ben.
I forget what team it was, but a bakery from that town sent him a box of 6 turnovers to his house.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, Deshaun Watson, who...
I'm telling you, Deshaun Watson's a beast.
She took him... It was Pat Mahomes, and then she took Deshaun Watson second, and he's been paying off for her.
He hasn't been sacked in either of the last 2 games.
Chris Carson, 3 games in a row of over 100 yards. I would have never guessed because Seattle hasn't had a running back in forever.
There was like a week or two ago where he fumbled twice too. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, he's doing well.
The people that you would think, like Juju Smith-Schuster, has not been doing well for her.
Well, I mean, they're on the third string quarterback.
Circumstances. Matt Breida, who you would think maybe would be doing better for her, isn't.
Especially with the San Francisco's run game. But it's pretty good.
Terry McLaurin might be... I mean, it's definitely her MVP of the waiver wire year.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you also have to look at the matchup. They're playing Miami. So
he's putting up numbers, though, every week.
Yeah.
He's probably... I think he's a rookie. But I think that as far as fantasy football pickups go, he's clutch. Like, he's a starter on her team.
Yeah, Michael, she went and picked up Jared Cook because Evan Ingram was out, and Jared Cook finally did something. Because I dropped him off my team a while
sprinkled
ago.
her Britney dust on him. Michael, if Jimmy G just ain't it, he's going to have to figure something out. Melvin Gordon, he's still working his way back, and the Steelers' defense is low-key like the best defense in the whole world right now. They're causing 15 turnovers a game.
And the Patriots defense? You said Steelers.
No, I was talking about Melvin Gordon facing the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't like. It's a hard game for him to come back and try to get going. Keenan Allen as well.
I mean, with Michael's bench as well, still wouldn't beat Brittany.
Yeah,
he only had 17 points.
He did
on
not
his
have a
bench.
good week.
No,
he had some buys. He had Marlon Mack on a bye.
This kicker Stephen Hauschka. Randall Cobb was injured.
With
he was out this week.
Todd Gurley out, Malcolm Brown scored 4 points. You hate to see it. He needed that.
I'm wondering if it's really paying off for him to just sit on AJ Green because he might not be back until week 10, and by then he might not even. I mean, I'm not going to put this out there for Michael, but to me, I don't know.
I have done this so many times where I pick up someone like AJ Green because he's an elite number one receiver and just sits on your bench and sits on your bench and sits on your bench. And then when he does come back in week 10 or whatever it is, do you play him right away? I don't know. Do you trust him in the first week of your playoffs? I don't know. And then by the time he's back in the swing of things, it's towards the end of the season. Someone like Cincinnati is going to start to rest him for the following season. Maybe. I don't know. He's in a contract year. So I just think...
I honestly think he might not be there by the end of the season.
It's
but we've only got 2 weeks till the trade deadline.
High risk. But, I mean, if he pays off, then Michael will be scary strong going into the playoffs with Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, AJ Green in the flex spot, and then Melvin Gordon's not going to be bad forever.
No.
His worst position right now
is
offensive
line sucks. The Chargers' offensive line is hot garbage.
It's bad. It's really bad. Yeah. But, yeah, his biggest problem right now is Jimmy Garoppolo and that quarterback spot. And it's because they don't need Jimmy Garoppolo to win. No. Their defense is terrifying, and their running game is just crushing people. Garoppolo has to throw the ball, 15 times a game?
Maybe.
That's it. And
they're all like dink and dunk passes.
And they're winning.
Yeah.
So
Kittle's getting some big plays after the catch, so.
I mean, he might step up and get a few really good games, but besides Kittle and maybe running back out of the backfield, their receivers just aren't catching the ball, and it's because they aren't throwing to them because they're not.
They don't need to.
They don't need to.
They don't need to. And
it's my favorite kind of football, to be honest. And the Steelers played that this week, and I'm ecstatic because Duck Dynasty brought home the win.
Quack,
what
quack,
up,
motherfucker? All right. On to the next one. We've got the Wrath of Quan, Nathan, taking out Roger, injured reserve, 129.1 to 105.5. Now, I'd like to say that I was surprised, but I'm not.
I feel so bad for Roger in this game because his team showed up except for Amari Cooper,
who got hurt,
pulled his quad in the first play, injured.
It's actually only a bruised thigh.
Huh.
That's what they were saying today. But I've heard both, so it's hard to tell.
Well, whatever
they were
it
worried
is.
that it was a quad.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah. Anyway,
if it was just a bruise, you play through it.
It's probably a quad because it's Rodgers' team.
Let's just, indeed.
He probably has to take his leg completely off. And
then Gardner Minshew, my little brother, they showed a replay before the Steelers game of, I think he threw an interception or something like that. He said the only reason Gardner Minshew throws an interception is if he wants to throw an interception. So he went out and he threw the game on behalf of Roger because he put up 4.6 points. The rest of his team showed up, and they were good.
You got Gardner Minshew playing against the best defense that he's played against.
Maybe the best defense in the league.
They're good.
They have Cameron Jordan might be, and Marshawn Lattimore might be the only ones that are even considered for the Pro Bowl. They're like the Dolphins defense back in the day, the no-name defense, where you're like, where's the star? But no, where's the weak point in the defense? There's none. They are just, they're so good. I have them on my team. But Devonta Freeman is alive. He scored points. What the heck? Tevin Coleman, I said last week, he was looking good. 13 points this week. I see 15 points next week, 20 points the week after that if they keep rolling with that offense.
Tyreek Hill's back.
Tyreek Hill.
In a big way.
How in the world did he go up and catch that pass? Like Amari Cooper style. It wasn't quite quadruple
coverage. The other guy's
coverage.
like a foot and a half taller than he is, and he jumped higher than... It's insane.
Leaped.
His vertical is retarded.
Absolute athlete. Austin Hooper put up a whole bunch of points. Roger, you hate to see it. You got the loss.
Yeah. I mean, James Conner showed up big for Nathan, 27.4 points. But whenever you got your third-string quarterback in there and the Chargers' defense doing absolutely nothing to stop them just chucking it down to James Conner.
This was the best game of James Conner's career.
Yeah, and now he's hurt. So
yeah, I know.
But
Tom Brady put up a bunch of points against the Giants.
He would have put up 10 points if he didn't rush the ball 2 times. He's 2 rushing touchdowns because Tom Brady's a prick, and he did it on purpose.
Mike Evans did a little bit. Galladay did a little bit. This is one of those complete team wins where, like, he had Mike Evans go off for 40 points that one week, and that's the only reason he won. No, he had everybody in double digits, except for Greg Olsen, and then defense and kicker, but that's to be expected. Good week for Nathan.
Overall, Nathan's pretty solid week. 130 points, not bad, not bad. All right, I'm going to skip the next one. We're going to jump down to your game.
Okay.
We've got... This was
the battle of the birthday boys.
Yes, and it was a lot closer, or it wasn't as close as the score makes it seem because Josh was down 50 points.
He was down a lot.
He was down,
but he had Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Graham, and Matt Prater going into Monday night, and I was not that confident.
Yeah,
because I know what they can do, and Aaron Rodgers did what he does. He put up 18 points, which 15 to 20 points is like clockwork for him. Jimmy Graham, only 2.7.
If he would have caught that one touchdown pass that he dropped in the end zone, it would have been over for you.
I know. Matt Prater put up 21 freaking points. My goodness, the only person that put up more points than Matt Prater is Stephon Diggs on Josh's bench.
Well, David Johnson.
No, I know. I was just saying in general, in the history of the NFL. 21 points for a kicker. He's so good, but he was just banging 50s.
I was sitting there and I was thinking about it, and I was looking over. It was Monday morning. I was looking over Aaron Rodgers' points this year and Jimmy Graham's points this year and Matt Prater's points, and I was like, if they all do just even a little bit less than their best games this whole year, Josh is going to win, and that would put me in first place.
Yeah,
and
I know.
The final score was 123.1 to 115.1.
I played all the right people. I got extremely lucky. And Kamara only got 10 points, but, I mean, that's about what he's been doing lately, which is not good for me. Russell Wilson got 28.9 points. Would have been 29, but he always takes that victory formation, kneel down 0.1 away, which is going to hurt me one day. Nick Chubb, 26.4 points.
He's a beast this year.
He's on a bye next week. I don't know what I'm going to do without him.
Yeah, I've got McCaffrey on a bye next week. That's going to hurt me.
The big letdown for me this week. Will Dissly, done for the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been riding your bench since you got him. So it's not, I wouldn't say a letdown, but tight ends have been a shit show this year.
I picked him up, and I almost put him in the flex spot over Cam Sutton this week. I almost put him in the starting spot over Zach Ertz. I didn't this week. I don't know why. I just didn't.
What's been up with Zach Ertz? He's been sucking.
He isn't scoring touchdowns.
He's not doing much of anything.
He scored 1 touchdown all season, but he's putting up his 50 to 75 yards like he does, 5 to 8 catches like he does. That's what he always does.
Yeah.
No touchdowns because their offense just isn't getting touchdowns. So that's the big difference in him this year is that extra 6 points, which, I mean, if 5.4 points from a tight end, not great, but 11, 12 points, that's pretty good. That's what you want. But
yeah, and in a 10-team league, I don't know if many people would have started Stephon Diggs in a 10-team league because he hasn't done anything, and then he comes out and has this huge game. Like, now maybe you might have thought, like, because Thielen went off last week that he might go off this week, but Josh, don't feel bad for not starting Diggs because I don't think that I would have started him this week either.
4 points, 9 points, 3 points, 12 points, 6 points, 40 points.
40 points, yeah.
So he has not been trending in that direction. And
he's about to sell high for a good trade there.
If Josh starts him next week, then it's almost guaranteed he'll score single-digit points again.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Keep him on your bench.
Yep.
Throw to Adam Thielen, please.
Just all Adam Thielen. How about Kirk Cousins, though? It's like his whole team came out and was just like, you suck. Give us the ball more. And he's just like, I suck? Come on. He's bound to regress, though, because it's Kirk Cousins, and he's not ever going to be elite.
He did really well in Washington. That's why I'm so surprised how bad he is in Minnesota.
He wasn't consistent, though.
He threw for about 300 yards a game, but it's just the Redskins are bad.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? If he goes from the Redskins to the Vikings, who 2 years ago were Super Bowl contenders.
With Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Now Case Keenum's starting for...
Yeah.
And barely beat the Dolphins.
Weird.
But anyway, the last game that we have is my favorite game. Because Bruce, V.A. Chalupa Batman...
Bruce Almighty.
Defeated Bald Bear Fighter Jed 107.6 to, and I'm going to pre-state this, no, I didn't stutter, to Jed's 67.5, which is less than half of what he's been scoring all year. And it makes me so fucking happy.
I think this is the he beat yourself award of the week. What happened?
Well, your starting quarterback's hurt and hasn't been playing well.
He scored almost 20 points, though, which is just fine. Just fine.
But for Patrick Mahomes, Jed used his first-round pick on him, and he's not living up to his 30 points a game now.
Correct.
Aaron Jones didn't do anything.
Who scored a record-breaking amount of points last week. 6 points.
Carlos Hyde did something.
Really well.
Yep.
17.5 points. You would think if I told you Tyler Lockett scored 10 points, Carlos Hyde scored 17.5 points, you would start to think, okay, Jed's doing pretty well. Those are some of his least great players. But nobody showed up. Why is Mohamed Sanu even starting on his team?
Dude, I don't know. I looked at that. I mean, but look at his bench. He wouldn't even have scored 100 points if his whole bench would have played too. He started the Eagles defense because Bears were on bye.
-1.
-1 point.
Zerline only got him 1 point from the kicking position. His backup got him 9 points. Kelsey, 7.8 points. You know what? It's just...
Kenyon Drake for Miami did better than Aaron Jones.
That's...
Sorry, Jed. That sucks.
Yikes. But I mean, Bruce didn't really do anything spectacular.
No, I
he
mean,
just 107.6 points is not earth-shattering, but it's enough to beat someone on a bad day. And Bruce
he did
is
just that.
I mean, if his defense didn't get him -1 points, if his defense got him 10 points even, then that's 115, 120 points where that's pretty good. So he's just a defense away from beating people regularly.
Yeah. I mean, Browns defense is okay, but that's you really have to play a matchup with the Browns defense. You can't just start them every week.
Yeah.
Because you're playing Russell Wilson. Like, you've got the shiftiest quarterback in the league who can get out of anything, and regardless of what kind of pressure you put on him, you're probably not going to get a sack on him.
Fournette has been doing really well for him this year.
Yep.
Probably because Jed buried him on the draft episode.
Yeah.
Auden Tate, great pickup with a bunch of people hurt. John Ross and AJ Green hurt. Who knows how he'll do when they come back, but as for now, that's a great pick for him. And then Jay Crowder's back. Sam Darnold's back, slinging it around mano y mano with people. And
nice.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I stole it from Twitter.
Well,
but it was so funny. Adrian Peterson even. I don't know. I just think Bruce.
Well, Adrian Peterson, I mean, played the matchup there, and Redskins said that they're going to go back to the running game more. So, you know.
He did well. Edelman did well. Yeah. Bruce is not a team I'd like to face. He has the best kicker in the league right now. He's not going to score 150 points, but if you have a bad week, he's going to beat you.
He's going to beat you, yeah. And I have to play him this coming week, and McCaffrey's on a bye, so I got to figure something out. But yeah, so that's the week recap, and I don't know. Would you like to start with the winners and losers? Or do you have somebody picked out?
I do, actually.
All right.
And it's not you. I'm sorry. Even though
no, I don't.
You can be your own winner because you actually jumped up a whole bunch of spots.
No,
but
I've got my own winner.
I buried Nathan last week because of how far he fell from, was it first to sixth place?
Yep.
In the difference. Was that last week?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So this week he comes out, scores 129.1 points, and he gets his win. And with Michael losing and Jed losing and Josh losing, I don't think he jumped anybody because of tiebreakers. I think he might be in fifth place. I didn't look at that. We'll go over that.
He's in fifth, yeah.
Okay, so he didn't jump too many spots, but he kind of like held serve where he's in the conversation again, where if he would have lost this week, he might be trying to make up some ground that maybe not be able to make up. Because as of right now, there is kind of, I mean, we'll go over the standings soon, but there's one superior team that is far out front everybody. That's me. And then there's 2 4-2 teams, 3 4-2 teams. I don't know. I think
one of these days it's going to come back to bite you in the ass.
It did the first 2 seasons I played. I'm just saying 4-2 looks a lot better than 3-3 on Nathan. The loser of the week, undoubtedly, by far, the worst person that I know, Jed. Oh my gosh, what happened? I know I said that before, but
I mean, not to give anything away, but he's definitely my loser of the week too.
Not only did he lose, if he would have put up the normal amount of points that he's been putting up, he probably would have jumped me in points. He'd be in first place.
Yep.
And instead, it's just...
Well, not only did he lose, he lost in the fashion that he did, which puts him way down in points. Because
for tiebreakers.
People that are above him all put up over 100 points.
Yes. So, even Josh, who lost, put up 115 points.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to lose, you still want to put up points for tie-breaking purposes in the future.
Yeah, and he tried to make a comment about it. He's like, well, yeah, injuries and, bye weeks really hurt me. And I was like, Jed, that's fantasy football.
Yeah, that's how it works.
You've got to account for things like that.
But the worst, I think the worst thing for him now is his team is capable of 67.5 points. And what if it happens again in the worst time? Because our knockout stage this year has changed from 2 weeks to 1 week.
To 1 week.
All it takes is him to get into the championship game and put up a clunker like this, and he's not holding the trophy at the end of the day, and he's dethroned.
God,
so,
I can only hope and pray.
Oh, my gosh.
I would rather see it go to you than back to Jed.
That's just...
Or Michael. They've both had it. They've had their time with it. I would like to see it, next to all my Cowboys stuff because that'll be the first and only time in my life. Probably. But I want to put it next to my Cowboys stuff because it'll be the only time in my lifetime that I'll see another trophy
next to a Cowboys stuff.
Cowboy. So, but yeah, my loser is Jed for the points that I made and the fact that a lot of it, like, yeah, you can have a bad week, but a bad week like that drops you down in points whenever there's so many people that are tied right now. That's not good.
Nope.
My winner of the week, though, and it's not me, even though I needed this win and I needed other things to happen for me to move up as far as that I did.
You jumped from 4th or 5th to 2nd?
I think 5th or 6th to 2nd. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good for you. A lot of things happen.
But it's Brittany, and it's not only because of this week. One, she knocked off Michael, who was 4-1.
Yeah.
And he was in second place. And I still believe that he's in second. We'll get into the standings here in a second. But not only did she knock off one of the best teams in the league, but she's putting up consistent points.
She put up the most amount of points this week.
And if she keeps doing that at 2-4, we're almost halfway through our fantasy league. She could still come back and make the playoffs if she put up these kind of points every week and starts to kind of get on a roll. So this win right here, plus the points, is really big for her. So I think that, yeah, she's definitely going to get my win of the week because in the long run, the amount of points that she's been putting up could really help her out in the end.
All right, she plays, coming up, she'll play Nathan, then Jess and Bruce. Then down the stretch, it's you, then me, then Roger, and Jed to finish the season. So
she's got a pretty easy slate there for the first few games.
Well, she has
jump up.
Jess, Bruce, and Roger in the second half of the season, which, I mean, I don't want to jinx her, but that's possibly 3 wins if everything stays. But she also faces everybody ahead of her once. Mm-hmm. So if she beats
a couple of those, she
has 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if she wins 4 out of 5 of those, then
she could be right in there in those final the playoff brackets. So there's a good chance. So yeah, she'll get my winner of the week.
Keep it up, Brittany.
Yeah,
we don't want Jed to make the playoffs. You beat him out.
Yeah, stop listening to my fantasy advice.
Suck it, Josh.
You're welcome, Roger, for starting Dallas's defense.
Oh my gosh. I threw the suck at Josh in there just in general because I beat him.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
My birthday is superior to his.
Correct.
We both turned 30. It's bad.
You're in the big 3-0 club now.
Yikes.
Yeah. Doesn't feel any different, does it?
No, it does.
Does it?
No, I'm way sore. It's just terrible. Way more depressed.
You can't trust a fart now. There's all sorts of things you got to watch out for.
Josh texted me the night before and was like, "Hey, man, how's it feel to be 30?" I said, "Don't do it." He's like, "Well, I guess I'll just die tonight." So, Blue Chew.
It'll work for you. Sponsor us, please. No.
No, really.
So we're going to go into a new segment that we mentioned last week.
A new segment and not a nude segment.
Yeah, not a nude segment. I mean, we are naked right now, but that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
We're going to give
a playoff snapshot.
No, this is our funeral segment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we have 2 new segments that we're rolling out this week.
Yeah, we got 2 new segments.
Funeral.
And I think we've decided on who we're going to give the funeral to based on the amount of points they've put up, and
it's not Roger.
It's not.
What?
It's not Roger.
It's Jess. Jess, who had the worst draft in the history of fantasy football.
She is on a 5-game losing streak.
It's bad.
She won her first game.
She's had some bad luck. But also, I don't feel like there's a lot of stuff that she can do.
She hasn't been putting up points.
It's just...
And without putting up the points, and...
She still outscored Roger, but to be fair, Roger was scoring about like a good solid 27 points the first couple weeks, but he's turned it around and kind of, I still losing, but scoring over 100 points and losing.
Yeah. Well, here's her points for the whole year. Week 1, 145.2. Pretty good. I mean, that's great.
What up?
Week 2, 88.5. Week 3, 74.8.
Ew.
Week 4, 82.1.
Yikes.
Week 5 was her real dramatic loss to Josh by 0.1 point. Then this past week, 99.9. It's not looking hot. Like, and being 1-5, she would have to win out.
She's 4 games
to do anything
out of first, 3 games out of the playoffs right now. She would need everybody in front of her
to lose,
which is impossible. But I mean, it's not mathematically impossible.
It is, because we all have to play each other.
It's
again.
highly improbable.
Yeah. So
the funeral of the week goes to you, Jess.
Yeah. I would have written you something, but you're not worth it.
Yeah. Not only
team smells like
does your team suck, but you also have to go home to Jed.
Yeah. So it's a lose-lose. Congratulations on your terrible decisions.
Moment of silence for Jess's team. Okay, we're back. Playoff snapshot of the week.
You mean just playoff snapshot? Oh, yeah, of the week. I mean, I guess, yeah. It's week to week, yeah.
If the season ended today.
Here's our projected playoff matchups. And we'll start at the bottom. In the consolation bracket, and I'm talking the bottom of the consolation bracket, you got what is the equivalent of 2 people putting their assholes together and shitting. Roger and Jess.
You know, Jess's butt might actually be bigger than Roger's.
That's a feat.
No, not her feet. Her butt.
I'm saying it's impressive. Anyway. But yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah, so in the very bottom of that consolation bracket, you would have Roger versus Jess. Then right above them would be VH Loop Batman Bruce versus Brittany. And right above them, you got 2 teams that are just on the edge.
Tiebreakers are separating them.
Yes. Well, Nathan, but not Josh.
Yeah.
Josh versus Nathan at the 5 and 6 spot there. Now, in the winner's bracket, if the season were to end today and we'd go into the playoffs, you would have Bald Bear Fighter Jed versus Josiah.
I do not want to face Jed week 1 because
not for the week that he had.
He is the only team that has beaten me this season. And my gosh, it will just suck to lose to Jed. If I lose to you or Michael, I can at least go home and feel at least somewhat decent. If I lose to Jed, no shower, no amount of hot water will be able to rinse away the sorrow.
And you're over 30 now, so it makes it even worse.
Yikes.
Because now you've only got a few fantasy football years left.
I know. This might be my last chance.
And in the other bracket, you have me and Michael.
Which is another great matchup. This is stiff competition this year.
If I had to pick who would win each of those, where it stands right now,
I don't know.
Honestly, it'd probably be Jed and Michael.
I know.
Because
and if it was a 2-week round, I would pick me because I'm putting up 120 points every week. Jed puts up 150 points one week, 67 this week. So I feel like I could beat him in a 2-week span. And any given week, Pat Mahomes to Travis Kelce could beat me. And I'm that worries me.
And especially like later in the season with them losing 2 games now, they're probably going to be hooking up a lot more, which is kind of scary. If Mahomes can stay healthy, he can't move around as much as he used to. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our playoff bracket for, just a little bit of fun there for y'all. Y'all's.
It's going to be even
Yins.
more heartbreaking if all four of us that are in there don't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Especially me, because I'm in first right now.
Yeah. So now, I lost it. Where were we at?
You okay?
Yeah. I was going to go into our league standings.
Oh,
See where,
I'm in first.
Yeah, we know. There's no
See,
drum roll this
what
week.
happens when you are better than everybody else? It tends to reflect on the scoreboard. Not only am I better at fantasy football, I'm more knowledgeable, better looking, and great at ping pong. Nationally ranked hugger, and no, that's about it.
That's about it. You do give good hugs.
I know.
I won't lie. But yeah, number 1, we've got Josiah
Oh,
at 5-1.
me?
Yeah, you. Number 2, strictly because of divisions.
Screw
We've got
you,
Michael
ESPN.
at 4-2.
Michael.
I'm over 100 points ahead of him in points. Number
True
3.
Bill Bonnercheck fashion. He's
Yep.
working the system.
Yep, and he still has the least amount of points scored against him yet again. Number 3 is me, 770 points, sitting at 4-2.
I'm not that far behind you now,
No,
though.
you're only 20 points behind me.
I'm slowly gaining every week.
I need a couple of those weeks where I put up 140, 150 points.
I know.
To get back up there. Number 4, Bald Bear Fighter Jed at 4-2 with 690 total points. Number 5, also at 4-2, the Wrath of Quan, Nathan with 656 points. Number 6, Josh, Team King Dingus, who actually has a pretty good amount of points.
He has a ton of points.
736, but he's only 3-3.
He's had some bad luck.
Yep. And next we've got Brittany, 665 points, sitting at 2-4. VH Lupa Batman, number 8, with 611 points at 2-4. We've got Team Hairless with 620 points, sitting at 1-5, and at the bottom of the barrel again, Injured Reserve Roger at 1-5 with 566 points.
Gosh, that just warms my heart.
Yeah.
You know, Roger. No, you don't, because you suck. No, his team is not doing the best.
Every time that he's like gonna win, somebody goes out. Every time.
Nathan suggested that we take a segment to bury everyone that Roger has injured since the first week of the season. But we like to keep these shows to about an hour.
Yeah.
So
maybe we'll do that like next week whenever I can actually prepare for
Roger
it
is
and
on the
run it
block
down.
this week. Unless he wins, we're funeralizing him next week. Roger, you hear that? This is your challenge. Who's he facing?
He is up against Jess.
Ooh.
Battle of the shit bowl.
Roger, if you can beat Jess next week, I'll keep you off the funeral block for one more week. I don't know who I'm going to bury, but there you go.
Hopefully I can beat Bruce and we can bury him.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. All right. So we're going to go into the projections, final standing projections. A few things changed this week. Yeah. Josh, Team King Dingus, is now projected to finish 4th.
Ooh.
There's a surprise.
He's still putting up points. Even though
yeah.
he lost this week, he's still putting up a decent amount of points.
Yeah, if he makes a run and scores a good amount of points and all those, he could be dangerous. Hover Around Genocide, me, I'm still projected to finish 1st.
Yeah.
Because of points, obviously.
Weird.
Yeah. The Wrath of Quan, Nathan, is now projected to finish 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Bald Bear Fighter took a huge drop.
Oh, yeah.
Number 7. He dropped all the way down to 7.
Jess is projected higher than him.
Yeah. Jess is projected at 5. She didn't move at all from last week. Mind Flayer Bonner Brittany even though she beat Michael, is projected to finish 9th.
That's
Yeah, I don't really get this, but I think it's fun. So
yeah.
we'll see. Bruce, you know, it took a while for Roger to get out of this spot, but
It took him a long
it
time.
took him a long time. But Bruce, you're sitting there at the bottom now, number 10. Josiah, unsolicited DAC picks.
I jumped
You
up
are
to
now
number 2.
Yeah.
I'm slowly gaining.
Slowly getting there.
ESPN is slowly realizing my greatness.
Michael, the chosen one, now projected at number 3. And Roger, number 8.
From 10 to 8.
10 to 8.
With the win of the week, I guess.
Yep. I think he was 9th last week, so he's slowly moving up. Even though
Dude, by the end of the season, if he gains 1 every week,
yeah,
then
he's got a long way to go, though.
he's got 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that. I guess, trending up, we've got Josiah up 6 spots.
That's
Michael up 6 spots. And Roger up 2 spots. And trending down, Bruce down 3 spots. Montflair Bonner, Brittany down 3 spots. And Jed down 3 spots. So I'm okay with that. Jed's trending down. And that's all I care about. So let's go ahead and get on to our final segment here with our matchups of the week.
Okay.
And we'll start at the top here. Got Hover Around Genocide, myself, versus VA Chalupa Batman. And there's an ad. Oh, and there it went away. All right. So I am struggle bussing here because my top scorer on my team is on a bye week. And I've got some waiver stuff out. Got a trade proposal out.
You still want Disley?
No.
Oh, man.
No. You see who I got, though?
Everett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stack tight ends if I can get them. Somebody's going to need one at some point.
Possibly, yeah.
But no, I've got a trade out. I think it's Robert Woods and Josh Gordon for Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
So.
Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer Schmidt?
Yeah.
His name is my name, too.
Yeah. No, yours is Josiah. Same first letter, but,
It's a song,
I know.
Daniel.
I know. I'm old. I know.
You have McCaffrey on a bye. You have Beckham on a bye, who hasn't been doing great, but
he's been on my bench
one of
for
your
a couple weeks.
top picks. Mm-hmm. You have Lamar Jackson against Seattle, which is not great for you.
Nope.
Dalvin Cook versus the Detroit defense.
Not great for me. Not
great for you. Miles Sanders versus the Dallas defense.
Could be huge.
Really good for you. Michael Gallup, he is what he is.
I mean, the Phillies secondary sucks though. So if Prescott can not be pressured the entire game, he might do well.
DJ Chark versus the Cincinnati defense might go for 450 yards.
Yep.
Mark Andrews needs a bounce back. I don't feel like
he's doing okay. He's getting me 10 points a game almost for my tight end spot with the state that tight ends are in right now. I'm not going to complain.
So yeah, he's doing pretty well for you. But
I'm still not set on all of my wide receivers. Like I said, I've got some things out there on waivers and stuff.
As you mentioned, Bruce has Prescott going against that Philly secondary, so that could be good for him. Fournette going against Cincinnati. David Montgomery going against New Orleans, not great for him.
No.
Devonta Adams might be back versus Oakland, maybe. Julio Jones versus the Rams. Dude, I think
the Falcons are going to win this week.
He has Edelman versus the Jets. He needs to figure out he has both his defense and kicker on a bye. Mm-hmm. But if he can figure that out, he is only projected to lose to you by 8 points at this moment.
With two of his players on
of his players in his starting roster on a bye. This is not looking good for you.
I mean, projections,
I know, but I'm just saying as far
Jess was projected to beat me last week.
As matchups go.
Oh, as matchups. Oh,
you're facing a lot of pretty stiff competition. I mean,
stiff competition.
You know what I mean.
You're on that blue chew again, aren't you?
Of course.
Yeah.
But not like your players are facing the best defenses in the league, but all of his players are facing the worst defenses in the league. and he could score 200 points this week. Not likely, but his team, if there's any week for his team to go off and be the highest scoring team, it's this week.
It's this week. And that's what I'm worried about. Because
I'm picking Bruce to win. I'm picking Bruce. Bruce, if you're out there listening, who am I kidding? You probably can't get podcasts on your Android. But if someone actually tells you about this, pick smart defense. Get a decent kicker. You'll win this week.
I'm kind of on the fence about it.
I know you want to believe in your team right now.
It's hard.
Without McCaffrey.
To believe in my team without McCaffrey. Get me 25 to 30 points every week.
This is a rough week for you. Mm-hmm. And Bruce is going to win. Sorry.
He probably will. But, as long as you lose, that's all that matters. All right, on to the next matchup.
Yes.
We have Mind Flayer Bonner, Brittany versus the Wrath of Kwan. Nathan.
This would be huge for Brittany to knock someone out of a 4-2 spot. She would be up to 3-3.
I mean, Nathan's got nobody on a bye at all, and the projections are insanely in Brittany's favor at 115 to 90.
Yes.
Obviously, projections aren't everything, but
she has
Deshaun Watson's
a running back going against Dallas. She has she has Deshaun Watson versus Indianapolis, who their defense is actually pretty good. Carson versus Baltimore, who, I mean, we saw what Nick Chubb did to their defense. Frank Gore versus Miami.
That could be brutal. I'll be at that game. Me and Nathan will be at that game. Yeah.
She has Evan Ingram back versus Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Buffalo's defense versus Miami.
I'm excited to watch this in person.
They're projected 14 points. When's the last time you saw defense projected that high? Never.
I mean, probably now the Patriots defense will probably be projected at 15 every week.
These people in Vegas do not know what to do with the Dolphins as far as betting lines go. They have no idea. But you know what? I'm going to give this one to Brittany.
Yeah, I think Brittany's going to pull out a win here. And it's going to be big for her and really bad for Nathan.
Saquon might come back this week, though. And
they
depending on how well he does, I think that could be the difference. Also, she has Frank Gore. He has Devin Singletary. Is it Devin? Yep, Devin. Depending on who gets the touches in that game, could be the deciding factor in this game. But,
man, wouldn't that suck coming down to that at the end of the day?
Yeah, just whoever scores the touchdown, which running back gets the touchdown is going to be the deciding factor.
They might both have touchdowns in this game.
That's fair.
Of course, this might be huge for Josh Allen, too. He might have like a 40-point game, and Nathan dropped him to the waivers a while ago.
Oh, that's right, when he got the concussion. Mm-hmm. He has James Conner on a bye, Mike Evans on a bye, his starting tight end Greg Olsen on a bye. Brittany's going to win this week.
Yeah. All right. On to the next one. We've got the shit bowl of all shit bowls. Roger versus Jess.
Oh, man. I hope they tie.
Me too.
Oh, my gosh, I hope they tie.
Me too. Projections, I mean, Curtis Samuel's on a bye. She hasn't done her lineup yet. I mean, it's saying that Roger's going to win, but if it's based on what's
she'll probably put Josh Jacobs in that spot.
Unless she, needs a wide receiver and actually looks at her fucking trades. But just with how Roger's been doing, I think that Roger will win this week.
Kyler Murray versus the Giants is good for her, but I just don't see it for her. As far as it. If Gardner Minshew can put up double-digit points at all, if that's who he goes with, he might go with Jacoby Brissett. But I think Roger will stave off a funeral this week and win.
Yeah, I think he will.
We might not be able to bury anybody next week if he wins.
We could just...
If Bruce beats you and Roger wins, then we
we could just, if Roger wins, we'll just do another one.
We'll bury Jess again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll just dig a deeper grave for her. But yeah, I think Roger's going to win this one pretty handily. I mean, Le'Veon Bell versus New England. Derrick Henry versus the Chargers. I mean, that could potentially be some points. Michael Thomas versus Chicago probably won't do well. Chicago's coming off a bye. Emmanuel Sanders is still questionable. Curtis Samuel is on a bye week, so she's going to have to look at her wide receivers and her trades. But yeah, I think Roger's going to win this one pretty handily.
Good luck, Roger.
Like 115 to 84.
115-84. Mark it down. Roger will undoubtedly let us all down.
Yeah. Roger will have 84 and Jess will have 115.
Roger will have 48.
48, yeah, you're right. Okay, and next we have, if it'll load, Bald Bear Fighter Jed versus Team King Dingus.
Huge playoff implications.
Huge.
Rodgers versus Oakland or Mahomes versus Denver. Mahomes has to turn around quick. This is the Thursday game.
Denver's defense is doing pretty well.
Well, they were doing really bad, and then was it last week where they started they crushed somebody? I think it was the Chargers.
Yeah, they beat the Chargers, then they came out this week and they shut out the Titans.
Okay.
It's like 17 to nothing.
So Josh is without Godwin, who might be his best player.
Yep.
But he'll probably slide Stephon Diggs in that spot, which means Stephon Diggs will not get one catch.
Yeah.
He has David Johnson versus the Giants. This is so close. I don't know.
Carlos Hyde for Jed won't do much against that
Indianapolis
defense. Aaron Jones versus Oakland. I think they'll probably be able to shut him down.
Chicago versus New Orleans might be a 3-2 game at the end of the game. Like, that's the way both teams play.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If Prater can score 21 points, Josh is going to win. And I just, like you said, Mahomes has been a little banged up. Kelsey suffers from that.
Mm-hmm. Marvin Jones Jr. versus Minnesota.
They have a good secondary.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to do too well there. I mean, the depth on Jed's team this week isn't great either.
No, Sanu didn't do anything for him last week.
No, I think projections are lying in this one. I think Josh will win this one.
Well, Josh has someone out on a bye right now, so he'd have to switch that up. If he slides Diggs in there, it'd be 112 to 101 projected. Mm-hmm. That's weird. No,
I think Josh could take this one this week. I really do. I don't trust either of Jed's running backs. Mahomes being hurt and on a short week. Travis Kelce, but that also with the defense Travis Kelce might actually put up some points this week, helping him out in the short game.
This is another one of those things where Josh has Aaron Rodgers and Jed has Aaron Jones. So depending on who gets those touchdowns, or even if Rodgers throws a touchdown pass to Aaron Jones, that's going to favor Jed. But if Aaron Rodgers is throwing to his receivers, then Josh is going to win.
Hurt. Devontae Adams might be back.
He might be back.
Scantling got hurt.
He's Aaron Rodgers. You saw him hit. He can hit people in the face mask. It bounced off that guy's face mask into the Detroit players.
Is that these younger receivers can't catch the damn ball. That's the thing.
But
it's like you could eat Aaron Rodgers, but they got to be able to catch it.
That's true.
But yeah, this one's going to be close. I think Josh is going to pull out a win. And that's not just me hoping that Jed loses again. I really think based on the matchups that Josh has a very good chance of winning this game.
I agree. And again, huge playoff implications.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think I'm next.
Yeah, you are. This is the last one. This also has potential playoff implications.
For first place, pretty much. Whoever wins this game will be in first.
Unless I win. If Jed wins,
he's still in the lead in his division. So
in his division,
he would be in first. But
I hope this one's a tie.
Yeah, that would help you immensely.
Yeah. We got Josiah versus Michael.
Yes.
Right now it's projected Josiah losing to Michael 109.3 to 114.5, but it's projections.
I don't have Chubb this week. He's out on a bye. I don't have Landry. He's
Told you
on
to
a
get
bye.
the Blue Chew. You have Chubb all the time.
Exactly. I wish.
Just give your team some Blue Chew.
Kamara versus Chicago, not great. Eckler has not done anything since Gordon came back. I don't see it. I don't see it for me. I think.
But I don't see it for him either. He's got Elliott versus Philly. Elliott's been all right. Melvin Gordon hasn't been doing great. Keenan Allen hasn't been doing shit. Cooper Kupp. Jared Goff under pressure is hot trash. He had, 64 yards this past week total. George Kittle versus Washington could be the deciding factor, honestly.
Well, he has Garoppolo and Kittle.
Yeah.
So, and he has the New England defense versus the Jets. If Sammy D, can come back and put some points up on them, I like my chances. Mm-hmm. But also,
it won't matter because if he's like winning, he could just bench the defense because they're playing on Monday night. That is on
Monday night.
But if he's down a lot,
he'll need it.
And that could make Monday Night Football
interesting.
Awesome.
Do I have anyone going Monday? No, I don't.
No, you don't.
So, I'm picking Michael. I think this week for me
is going to be tough.
With Kamara going up against Chicago and Chubb out on a bye, I think this is just a fantasy loss, like a bye week loss for me, which I can accept. But I'm hoping that it doesn't go that way.
I think this is going to be one of the lowest scoring games,
which is good for both of us because if you're gonna, that's good that he's got a rough week. I've got a rough week.
Yeah, so it could go either way.
Like Bruce, I feel like Bruce is going to put up a lot of points this week, which is awful for you. Mm-hmm. But I think.
But if I can put up a lot of points, I'd rather lose to somebody that puts up a lot of points that's way lower in the standings than score a few points and still get beat by somebody that's right there with me.
Yeah,
because I'd rather have. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather have the points in my favor anyway. So as long as I beat you in points, I'll be okay.
Michael's going to beat me this week.
I also think that he's going to beat you, but it's going to be close.
I hope it's going to be close. I need Russell Wilson to do his thing, or I don't have a chance.
Yeah, I think he can. I think Garoppolo's not going to go crazy. It's Garoppolo. He hasn't at all, and they've been relying on the run game. So against that defense, they probably just run the ball the whole day.
Yeah,
so it could be good for you.
What's his name? Josh Norman. Plays for the Redskins, which means that
you could throw all over the place.
6-7 touchdowns from Jimmy G. Josh Norman's the worst player in the NFL.
Yeah, he's terrible.
I would rather have, I don't know, a dog out there. I'm sure he could knock away more passes than Josh Norman.
He'd probably catch more.
Yeah.
For sure.
If Josh Norman were in a room with Hitler, no, I'm kidding. It's a joke from The Office, people.
I would shoot myself.
Yeah.
Well, any final words?
What did I say last week? Oh,
you said
I buried Mike Williams, who did well against the Steelers. He's the only one that did anything against the Steelers.
I think your last words last week was that
Duck Hodge. Oh, there's a bunch going on upstairs.
There's a stampede of sadness going on upstairs. I think you said that you were going to win.
Well, I was right.
Well, yeah, you were right. Yeah.
I should have predicted Duck Hodges to win.
Yeah.
The Steelers are on a bye this week. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know. You could take us to the Bills game or cheap as hell. You could come up with me and Nathan.
Yeah,
Sunday at 1.
Then I'd have to go to the Bills game.
But it'd be fun.
Well, thanks for tuning in this week.
Yeah, thanks.
I think that, I just want to say an extra thank you because people are actually listening to this show.
Yep.
Big surprise.
Yep.
Didn't expect that at all.
Me neither.
Some of our best listen numbers are on these episodes. So thank you. And if you happen to be cheering for my team, please drop a comment on our Facebook page and say, "Go Josiah, go."
Yeah, let's not do that.
Go,
if you're rooting for me,
Josiah,
just
go.
keep to yourself because I can't deal with all of those comments. So I just blow up my Facebook. I don't know if I can do that.
I don't even think your mom listens to this episode, and she's definitely cheering for Nathan.
She's not rooting for me. What are you kidding me? But yeah, thanks for tuning in. And again, we're not affiliated with the NFL. But if you really like this, let us know because I've been rolling around in my head of actually doing a real, legit, kind of like fantasy football thing next year. So if you dig it, yeah, we might do that. So yeah, and again, our actual show is going bi-weekly, so there won't be an episode this week, but there will be one next week.
That's
featuring
correct.
Loving West Virginia. If they show up, they will.
They will.
They confirmed today. Yeah. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in and check out all of our other podcasts: D&D Kinda, Gurus of Gaming, Video Game Mythos. All those are lovely, just like you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you, the person listening in your car, Sean Fisher. I know you're listening. I love you and I miss you. All right, I'm getting out of here. I got to drive to Buchanan.
I hope Fortnite's downloaded on my Xbox.
It's not on mine.
Sucks to suck.
So it's probably not on yours. We'll see you next time.